All right, Mike. I am trying to figure out how we exit this deal. It's 12 townhomes in Happy Valley. um, great, great location. The townhomes look great. I think we've replaced four of these roofs already. Um, so we just have two more to replace. Um, we bought the deal for, well, how do I not have listed what we bought it for? I think we bought it for 3.25. Um, and yeah, it's cash flowing nicely. We have a loan that is 5.3%. Um, and yeah, essentially it is nice little neighborhood. Um, close to New Seasons. They're all on the same street. Um, yeah, let's dive into the old underwriting. So here is the old underwriting. So our exit, we're trying to get a 4.8 exit, but if we switch that to 3 years, 4.3 exit is still pretty interesting and decent returns for us. So that's kind of like where we're looking at it. 4.3, 4.4 would be something that would be intriguing to us. We bought this about 3 years ago. So yeah, essentially, at selling the units for 400K each, there's a decent amount of profit there. Um, and if they could be sold for more than that, um, then that's the upside. Currently, it has a great loan. If we check out the loan, it's 5.45. And yeah, so we bought it for 3.52. And we didn't put that much in for CapEx, but we've got it operating pretty well. If we look at the trailing 12 month, actually, let's just look at last year. We got 332K for income on 12 units. So calculate that out. 332.7 divided by 12 is we're averaging about 2,300 a month in rent. And then if we check out the mortgage statement, there's going to be 18 months left on this. And so we're at 5.45%. To assume this loan would be a 1.1% assumption fee. And then it's a 5-year fixed loan. So it basically, I want to say that we closed on this sometime in June of 2023. So if we if we sell, this loan can be assumed at 5.45% for 1% assumption fee. I think there's going to be some other like closing fees, etc. And yeah, all in all, the loan is good, and I think there's 2 years left on it. But once it switches to variable, it can only jump 1% higher. And so you would have 6 months at 6.45%. So that's semi-interesting as well. Okay. Well, let's look at the rent roll. That's the wrong rent roll. Here's the rent roll. Okay, so we've got, let's just pull the names off here. Okay, so we're averaging, these people just moved in for 2250. But yeah, we are averaging, what? Let's add this up. 26,739 plus 2250 divided by 12. We're averaging $2,400 a month in rent. So that's basically just holding cost. If we pull this place up on Zillow, or just on maps, it kind of gives you a decent idea of where we're at. And then I guess Clackamas GIS, we'll pull this up and have a peek at the Clackamas. Sure, CMAP. Sounds great. So yeah, so we've already got the plats set up. And essentially we would just need to create the agreements. Yeah. So I am interested in what your, I guess, exit strategy plan would be. If you wanted to help us out, or if or if you're interested in buying the portfolio. I think it's a pretty interesting little spot out here in Happy Valley, kind of right in the mix of Happy Valley, a mile from New Seasons. And yeah, we're just trying to figure out how we can deal it. We know that we've got this exit strategy, kind of makes it a little more valuable. If we sell it, the thing is that we can't get partial releases from Walker and Dunlap. So, I mean, honestly, I was kind of like thinking like, oh, what about like rent to own, or, something like that. But honestly, we're really trying to get our money moving for the syndication company. This deal has done well, and we've navigated a pretty nasty downturn. So if we're able to sell for that, 4.3 number, I think everybody's going to be happy. We'd hit a 14% IRR, a little bit less than what I think that we advertised in the deal summary. Yeah, deal summary is right here. What did we advertise in the deal summary? Yeah, pro forma estimates a 17% IRR. I mean, honestly, like with having rents going down, and I feel like a 14% IRR is a pretty phenomenal return just for this time period and when this property was purchased. So yeah, look forward to